Bueno, continuamos con un estudio de caso dunha serie nunha lingua pequena, como é o croata, que tivo moito éxito, el último artefacto socialista. En 1913, Louis Feuillat filmou as historias do elegante e intelixente Fantomá, un criminal de 1000 facianas que contrabandeaba entre os baixos fondos parisinos e os salóns das elites. A serialidade, a intriga, o ritmo, o atractivo que xeraba Fantomá nas salas de cinema fixo que pronto outros seriais lle seguisen. O éxito da forma serial atrapouse dos públicos e comezou a segmentarse. Nos Estados Unidos, por exemplo, os azares de Ellen enganchaba entre o 14 e o 17 as mulleres novas de clase traballadora que vían na independente e aventureira Ellen unha muller máis próxima á súa realidade. E mesmo na Unión Soviética con Miss Ment, do 1926, un serial rápido, intrigante e divertido de gran sona na época. 100 anos despois, as series resultaron ser o formato popular no paso da televisión ao vídeo on demand. Dunha gran liberdade e diversidade nos inicios do século XX, a súa institucionalización, mesmo cos festivais específicos que cobizaban darlles un estatuto artístico, para chegar a mediados dos anos 20 deste século XXI cun certo esgotamento e repetición de fórmulas, especialmente no eido do true crime, do que tamén falábamos onte con Crims. Neste contexto, unha serie croata, país de escasos 4 millóns de habitantes cunha lingua de 6 millóns de falantes, atravesa fronteiras, gaña o Festival de Series francés Seriemanía en 2021 e instálase en Filmín como unha pequena alfaia de 6 episodios nos que gozar o morno cubillo da melancolía por un mundo que, malia desaparecer, deixa as faíscas da solidariedade, a dignidade obreira e o amor nunha rexión da ex-Yugoslavia derramada polo capitalismo. O director da serie, Dalibor Matanic, tiña planeado acompañarnos hoxe en persoa, mas unha urxencia familiar impediulle viaxar no último momento. Malia iso, puido atopar tempo para conectarse e que podamos falar con el. De feito, que poida falar con el Irene Pin. Irene Pin é investigadora na Universidade de Santiago de Compostela, a máis de directora e guionista, por exemplo, de Amnesia 3.0, a primeira webserie interactiva en galego, e traballando no eido do audiovisual continúa hoxe en día. Moitas grazas.
Bueno. Ok. Hola, sí? Escoitaseme.
Hi, how are you? Yes, I can hear you great.
I'm going to speak in Galician for a brief moment, and then
Okay. Okay.
Vai-me tocar, por desgracia, estar aquí soa, porque Dalibor só pode acompañarnos desta maneira telemática, pero casi é unha expresión de como a día de hoxe son as formas de traballo tamén que precisamente facilitan o éxito do vídeo on demand, pero tamén que se poidan elaborar este tipo de coproducións, porque este estudo de caso que vamos facer é unha coprodución entre varios países de maneira totalmente simultánea sin ter que estar no mesmo lugar, así que vamos a intentar velo por ese lado positivo. Dalibor Matanic é guionista e director. O seu primeiro filme estreouse alá polos anos 2000 e titulábase The Cashier Wants to Go to the Seaside. Era unha película que xa trataba a explotación dos traballadores. Digo isto porque é un dos temas que de alguna maneira subxace na serie da que vamos falar, que é The Last Socialist Artifact. O seu segundo filme titulouse Find Dead Girls e xa obtivo unha cálida acollida a nivel nacional e internacional, ganou o premio especial do xurado no Sochi Film Festival e a partir de aí Dalibor Matanic fixo bastantes traballos que igual a nos non nos son tan coñecidos, como pode ser 100 Minutes of Glory, Kinolika, I Love You, Mother of Asphalt e Daddy and the Handyman. Pero seguro que o filme que todos temos en mente ao falar de Dalibor é unha película de 2015 que se chama The High Sun, que se converteu nun grande éxito de crítica en medios internacionais. Algúns críticos chegaron a chamalo o maior éxito do cinema independente croata. Estas frases así lapidarias, pero para que nos demos un pouco conta de que Dalibor vai facer esta serie e outras que fará antes, como vos vou contar, cando xa é un director de alguma maneira consagrado. Con esta película, que foi proxectada na sección Un certain regard do Festival de Cannes, gañou o premio do xurado. Ademais de máis de 20 premios en distintos festivais a nivel nacional e internacional. En 2020, porque nos vamos centrar máis na súa parte, digamos, televisiva. Bueno, perdón, en 2020 estrea tamén unha película de Dawn, que é como a segunda parte dunha triloxía que inicia con esta, con The High Sun, e que foi feita en coproducción coa produtora italiana Rai. A estrea tivo lugar no Festival Tallinn Black Nights e posteriormente foi proxectada tamén noutros festivais, pero o interesante desta película é que tamén se podía atopar en HBO desde 2021, vale? Entrando un pouco pois nestas plataformas de vídeo on demand. Con esta trayectoria como director, en 2016 emitíase na televisión pública croata a serie Novin, que en inglés se titulou The Paper. Novin é o nome dun xornal ficticio e o argumento, digamos, desta serie é a vida dun xornalista deste periódico. Esta serie, influenciada polo noir nórdico e outras pezas como The Wire, ten lugar na cidade de Rijeka, que poucas veces aparece como escenario de filmes e series croatas, e converteuse en 2018 na primeira serie en croata emitida en Netflix. Este feito xa de por sí é relevante, pero ademais Dalibor comentábame por correo que hai outra cousa moi interesante desta serie e é que se planteou facer unha versión americana. De feito, chegou a estarse en proceso de escrita e os distribuidores parárono e decidiron ir coa versión croata a todo o mundo. E foi un claro éxito. Aínda que este non é o caso que vamos a estudar, creo que é interesante telo en conta para contextualizar un pouco pois, o punto no que se atopa a carreira de Dalibor e tamén as producións croatas no seu lanzamento, digamos, a outros países a través destas plataformas de vídeo on demand. Este foi un gran salto, como digo, para Croacia. De feito, falase que é a exportación máis grande dun único produto audiovisual na historia do país. E conseguiu, chegou a ter, pois, preto de 500.000 de espectadores. En 2022, Dalibor tamén dirixe a serie The Silence, que é unha coproducción para HBO, feita por Croacia, Ucraína e Rusia. Pero nós non vamos falar desta serie, aínda que tamén poderíamos, sino que vamos falar de The Last Socialist Artefacto. Entón, esta serie, cantos de vos a vistes? Vale, pois vou facer un pequeno resumo de que vai esta serie. É unha miniserie de 6 episodios que se estreou en 2021, nos podemos la ver en Filming, así que se non a vistes, pois tedela a vosa disposición e moi recomendable. Esta é unha serie singular na que en cada episodio, que se titula co nome dun dos 6 protagonistas, vamos seguir a historia desde a súa perspectiva. O detonante é a chegada de 2 empresarios, Oleg e Nikola, procedentes de Zagreb, a unha pequena cidade perdida nos Balcáns que se chama Nastin, onde non hai nin cobertura de teléfono. Digo isto porque despois falaremos deste feito que é o que dá título ao libro no que está baseado de algún xeito esta serie. O seu obxectivo é reabrir, restaurar unha fábrica abandonada e manufacturar unha turbina para un cliente misterioso. Tampouco la vou destripar, pero para iso teñen que convencer aos antigos obreiros e farano grazas ao apoio de algún xeito a gañarse ao enxeñeiro Yanda a través de, pois, digamos, de unha forma socialista de autoorganizar o traballo. Entón, o que vos vou pedir agora un segundiño é se podemos poñer o tráiler desta serie para que entremos un pouco no universo e xa entramos coa conversa con Dalibor, vale?
Srce ti je kamen i ne sudi pravo. Pitaj svoje srce za harmonije.
Vale. Esta serie tivo kick-off en 2016 e recibiu o apoio a desenvolvemento de Creative Europe en 2018. En 2019 xa obtivo financiamento para a produción de Croacia e Eslovenia e un ano despois do Fondo de Programación de Televisión Media. A rodaxe principal tivo lugar entre setembro e decembro de 2020, mentres que a primeira emisión se fixo en 2021. A serie tivo unha gran acollida e foi presentada na sección oficial de Series Manía, onde ganou o premio a mellor serie, e triunfou tamén en Hearts of Sarajevo TV Awards, o que nos dá un pouco unha idea de que tivo un éxito tanto a nivel internacional como a nivel nacional. Conseguiu chegar a un amplo público como parte da distribución a través das plataformas de vídeo on demand, que é realmente do que imos falar aquí. Entón, para comezar, houve-me centrar bastante no tema da produción e como se artellou, digamos, este proxecto, como se puido sacar adiante, e para iso, para entrar nesta atmosfera, vamos poñer un pequeno corte do primeiro capítulo para que todos estemos en contexto.
Ovo se da srediti. Nas desetorica to stumbamo za 2 tjedna. Biće ko novo?
Nije bitno samo stumbat, treba netko na strojevima znat raditi.
A lova?
A nećemo raditi džaba.
I vi njima vjerujete, Vlado?
Tako mi lakše. Nisam šenuo, ne brini.
Ili imate vi, dečki, vremena sekundu samo da sjednemo, da preletite ugovore malo? Bez inženjera ništa, kako on, tako ću ja.
O, jasno. On je naš Leh Valesa.
Ko?
Sutra ću vam donijeti popis.
Jandar, možemo samo sekundu? Ajmo ovako. Vi meni popis, ja vama materijale. I jel znamo gdje su ti nacrti? Jel znam da bez tih
Nacrti su na sigurno.
Nećete požaliti, Anda.
Nadam se.
A što se tiče ljudi, ja i dalje ostajem pri svom da vam se ne miješam. Sami se organizirate kad to najbolje znate, ne?
To mogu ja.
A šta je vaša garancija? Ja vas prvi put u životu vidim.
Ljudi, ali zbilja nema mjesta nepovjerenja. Znači, svi imamo zajednički interes, a to je da tvornica radi. I radit će. Evo ga, kolega direktor ostaje ovdje, vodit će brigu o plaćama i zaposlenicima. Ja se samo privremeno vraćam u Zagreb riješiti financije, struju i sve ostalo. Je li to okej?
Okej. Idemo, dečki.
So, welcome, Dalibor, again.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being with us. So the workers are going to organize the work. How did you organize this co-production among 4 countries, Croatia, Slovenia, Serbia, and Finland, with the production companies Kinorama, Citizen Jane Productions, Perfect Productions, and Sense Production?
It was very famous book in region. So that's why we took a long time, like 3-4 years, to make scripts. You know, it's hardest thing to make adaptation of something that people like. Because we must create a completely new medium, not copy-pasting the book, you know. So we had tough times, you know, writing. It was really challenging. So that's why we invented this, choose this form, you know, that each episode starts with a new character. So to maintain the spirit of the book, but not to make this kind of, you know, biopic kind of adaptation, kind of mistake trap kind of film or series. But people from the region liked it. Serbia, Slovenia, they immediately jumped in, but it was not enough. So we started the shooting without knowing that we are having media money.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is dangerous.
And yeah, it was quite dangerous, yeah. But it was funny because it was risk, but it was a COVID year, you know, lockdowns, and it was very hard to shoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but we bravely started in autumn, and first 2-3 weeks it was rough. I didn't know about that. One of my producers like behind me, it's like, but the day I got better coffee and better wine, I know we have media money. So I'm joking a little bit, but sometimes you should go bravely. That's my team is well known for that, because lots of waiting, I think it will melt down the energy, melt down this kind of let's say creative kind of force that was in the people that did the series. So I wanted these actors, and they are all like so busy, so collect all these 6 actors from each episode, it was really hard. But one point when we managed that, it was kind of a reason to start. So we kind of started risky, but to the couple of weeks, the production went kind of, let's say, normally with media, Creative Europe kind of money. So to the end, it was kind of everything by the normal, because we shot also in Finland, we shot in Tunis. It was not just Croatia and region,
Mm-hmm.
The one thing, maybe it will be interesting, because it was kind of imaginary town in book. The town doesn't exist, so it's also in series. But I didn't want to local regional audience to connect, this is the town they were shooting in.
Mm-hmm.
So I invented the town by combining 5 or 6 towns and 5 or 6 factories. So really that you are completely not knowing where the plot is going on. So it's really kind of utopia town, kind of symbol of this workers class, 80s, 70s years, before these mountain towns, But I'm very sorry that we don't have any more these DVDs and making of documentaries. Remember these things,
Mm-hmm.
because we have one scene when the character goes for walk from his home to the bar, and he walks in 1 minute to the 5 towns, But you think it's one town. So it's really interesting to shoot, But on the other hand, we didn't have any problem. Just these lockdown things, COVID and stuff, But like everybody, probably in Spain also.
Mm-hmm. So, before winning the award at Series Mania, you have been there in the Series Mania forum with this project, I believe.
Yeah.
How do these kind of events work for the internationalization of this series or of this concrete project? Did you find the co-production there, or was in other way?
I remember when I was pitching the series, and it was really hard to pitch, I don't know how the people in the audience, but I also don't like pitch. I think nobody likes this pitching thing, because you are having so many meetings and stuff. But I have one let's say, approach to that. I was like going to the people and said, I cannot pitch this project because I cannot describe it, properly. But when you see the project, you will like it, and they bought it. It was like really cool, But what was our greatest fear? We thought that this subject is very locally. It's kind of Eastern Europe, Southeastern Europe. It's kind of countries in transition to the West, and stuff. Till, like I said, we showed for the first time final of the series. That was our fear. How people will react? Will they put it just into kind of local thing, which is okay? But on the other hand, the things would change when we premiered the series on Series Mania 2021. I can describe a little bit, how it looks, When you come with series to Series Mania, all the other people, all the other teams, they are looking much more handsome, much more expensive, much more smarter than you. Everybody's so fancy, like in Cannes Film Festival. till the moment we showed the first two episodes of the TV series. Then all the press and all these people came to us. It's really something. And I talked to the audience that I was afraid that it was kind of too local or something. And then they jumped. French people, they have the same story at the north of the France. People from Brazil, that they have same story in Brazil. People from Mexico, they have same story in Mexico. So at one point, this local thing, becomes universal. That I think is key for the success of the series. Maybe, how to transform this local thing to the universal. But we believe so much in this faith and this story about workers that somehow with our work, we transform it into universal. There is no recite for that.
Yeah, sure. There is no recite. How is the distribution in the Balkan region? I mean, it's used to have these co-productions between, I don't know, Croatia, Slovenia, Serbia. You see other countries' audiovisual work, or is not that usual?
But you are from Spain, you have industry, you have lots of people going to cinemas. For example, Croatia is much smaller and people don't have that habit. But regionally, what happened to us is that, for example, in Serbia, we had kind of miracle of distribution because they invented a lot of money in that, but we are talking about art house series. It's not crime series. Like, for example, The Silence, which I did. It's art house series, which is kind of not that mainstreamish, And they got results in Serbia, for example, for this series, 1.5 million per episode, which is unbelievable, which is like every fourth Serb, I think, So it was kind of very, very well attended in a regional thing, much higher than we expected that. We believe that we have, because of Series Mania and Syrian Camp in Munich and festivals, we had a kind of good start, but never believed that it would be so kind of wide watched, So it's kind of pretty big surprise for us.
So, do you believe that working in a language like Croatian was make it harder or not to become so global and to have this great success? Maybe you can talk us about what you told to me in the mail, not about this series, but about the paper.
The paper.
Because I think it's interesting this choice to make the American version or the English version, or just to bet on the original one, the Croatian one. You think it's easier now to produce in languages like Croatian? Sorry.
For me, it's easier to shoot in Croatian. Like for you, it's easier to shoot in Spanish, of course, But when we did the paper, and we had these cachette guys from Israel, like distributors, world sales, and they talked to Netflix and guys, and they started to work on American version of the series. They moved the story to San Francisco. One of the women who was writing the series Lost was start to write in the paper US, whatever the name is, and then they stopped because they were thinking the Croatian version will be much more effective. We were thinking they are completely crazy. Look at what? How? With Croatian language. But it was kind of first global Netflix distribution, so they put it in 1 second in 130 countries over the world, and it was like boom. And really, people from Latin America, people from Japan, everybody from all the world, they really received it well. So I don't know, do you need to have luck, or do you need to be stubborn, like these guys from Israel with our distribution, But one thing is important, they were really brave. For example, I want to watch, Spanish drama or Spanish, TV series, not Spanish drama goes English drama, It was, you see, it's kind of fakeish, I'm just talking now about language, not talking about story now, which is also, we can discuss a lot, But I think the world is now so universal, We are watching Korean films, we are watching Japan films, we are watching Chinese films, we are watching Indonesia films, and on their language, I think it's kind of auto-censorship if you think just in English, because its world is too fast, not to receive, kind of other words or letters or languages. So again, there's no recipe, but it was kind of brave decision, to have it in Croatian. But with other two TV series I also did it in Croatian, mix of Croatian, Ukrainian, mix of Croatian and German. But Croatian was the main language, and we didn't have that problems. I think the most important thing is how do you make it visually, how do you make it, how do you make the subject and plot, I know it's brave, but if we make all the things that we are doing in English, I think it's a boring world a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if we are losing your signal a little bit here. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Could you talk us on how was this series, The Last Socialist Artifact, funding? Because you applied to Creative Europe Media, which were the sources of funding on this series?
Well, it isn't that expensive series when you compare it to others, but let's say 2 million euros. It's kind of upper budget for Croatia, but not that in European terms, But the main funding came from Croatian National Television, and then Radio Television of Serbia, Radio Television of Slovenia, and then we stuck a little bit of private producing from Finland, and then we were stuck a little bit without media money, which was exact money we needed to finish it. Like I said, it happened during our shooting, so it was really kind of simple base kind of funding. Afterwards, when we finished the series, came Arte and other guys, with helping, but. For the shooting, we were like kind of, we had this basic budget of the region plus Creative Europe. One important thing is, maybe could be interesting, about the title of the series.
Yeah,
I was
going to ask about that. But
I was wrong about that completely. I was thinking, like always when you do it, writing in Croatian, let's do it kind of normal kind of translation, which is kind of normal, like for example, no signal area or something like that. But the guys from production, they were thinking they need much more, not explanatory, but kind of, not commercially, much more kind of different kind of title, and they were right.
Yeah.
They were right, because it was much more easier to discuss with this title than a pure translation.
Okay, I'm going to ask about the title, but we are going to see another little extract of the series first.
Treba mi kava.
Opet.
Da.
Di ti vidiš kavu? A što ti se malo? Hasan!
Oleg, can you hear me?
Hello, Hasan!
Oleg,
Sorry, man, we're entering no signal area. Can you hear me? Hasan!
Oleg, can you hear me?
Već problema. Možda ja vozim?
Koliko si spao sinoć?
Nisam spao.
Ajde, odi ti vozim. Ajmo, on te ne pričaj gluposti.
To misliš da možeš nam pričati, jebate?
Ne mogu pričati kad nema signala.
Hasan! Treba mi signal.
Treba mi kava.
Pa to ti govori.
Ovaj bus se vuče još iz 80.
Prestigni.
Kako da ga prestignem? Ograničenje, auti u kontrasmjeru, zavoj.
Jeko, da te to inače smeta.
Jo, daj mi Nikola, molim te.
Da nikad neću dobiti kavu, čuješ? Oleg. Kupi mi kavu.
Jebote, kava.
Okay, so in this small fragment of the series, we can see that there is no signal in this area, which was the title of the novel. So you have said you decided, and you were wrong, to change the title in the international distribution. Why the last socialist artifact?
Kind of tribute to this working class that doesn't exist anymore in a kind of normal way, kind of object that will give them also failure, but at the end also hope. So it's kind of more based on this term like socialism, which is kind of important for the book, and an artifact as a kind of remembrance of these old times. But we didn't want to make this, which a book it is, kind of nostalgic kind of TV series. Book is a little bit. We wanted more to shift the book towards the hope, any kind of hope. The series at the end, I shouldn't talk, but yeah, that this artifact can use in other direction, but in ironical way, of course, but we wanted to make TV series that gives some hope at the end. Gives some hope that it's not that black, because if you look on the street, everything is black when you come to workers and working,
And what was the reason not to change the title in the Croatian version? Because I think this title, The Last Socialist Artifact, works really well with the narrative, but why do you keep the original title in the Croatian version?
Yes, we preserved the original title in Norwegian because everybody knows the book, and it was really out of fashion now to change the adaptation, change the title. But it worked well. I hope worked well originally. It was kind of original title of the book, and outside of the region, it was kind of Last Socialist Artifact, and it really worked good on both levels, which I didn't believe at the beginning, but sometimes you really need some kick, kind of, and much easier way to approach the buyers and distributors. Yeah.
This can lead us to talk about how was this concern of the global audience you were somehow talking to in the writing of the series. I have understood that you didn't were in the writing since the beginning. You were incorporated to the writing of the series in the almost in the finish of the process. But I wanted to know if there was this, as the story is so local, there was a concern about how it was going to be seen outside Croatia or outside the Balkan region.
I think these script writers who did the series, who write the episodes, I think they have hell on writing, thinking about this approach, thinking about this idea. For me, it was important, to look above that and to have corrections and stuff. But I never thinking about this on purpose. I don't calculate when I'm writing. When I'm preparing stuff. If I will do it, you have this copy paste kind of. Let our series looks like this. Let our series looks like this one. Be like this. I don't like this approach, but I can put a parallel with again with this series, The Paper, when they said that by directing terms they looked really like a Scandinavian kind of series. When we got out with The Paper, and I said that it was kind of compliment for me, because at that point I can't watch any episode of the Scandinavian series. So it's kind of a big compliment but I think if you're doing something that you are kind of having faith inside, faith in the subject, faith in the topic, that topic of the workers and of the fate, of the disillusions, of the kind of stuck lives, it is kind of universal at the start, and it is good kind of base, like the good book is. I think you don't need to dig deeper, to be liked by everybody, because then you have this kind of pudding or something like that. You have these things that, like in films, like in Hollywood, it's like everything is making, copy pasting others, So I think I'm always looking for something to be original, I think this originality and authenticity can bring the wider audience. I know it's a brave thing, but I know what I like to watch, I like to watch brave film from Korea or from Africa, but brave things, they're not calculating. When you're calculating, it's like corporation, you know that.
Yeah. According to that, we are going to see the last fragment of the series that I have picked up now.
Ja, izvolite, poštovani gradonačelniče, ovo je moj poslovni partner i budući direktor.
Krenite vi slobodno bez se priključiti samo da nešto riješim.
Baš sam preletio vaš zadnji mail. Može?
Može, a samo kako? I možemo na ti, bez veze ovo da smo nešto navija, generacija.
Može.
Dobar je.
Original?
Nego čuo sam da je grad nešto planirao s tvornicom.
Ma ne znam odakle krenuo taj glas, to oni sanjare. Netko nešto bubne, pa oni čekaju. Ne možeš ljudima objasniti odakle meni lova za obnovu tvornice. Ne može grad, to treba tržište.
Odlično. Mislim, dobro je znati da ti se politika neće miješati u posao, jel me kužiš?
A što bi se miješalo? Mi smo se za to borili, da. Mi smo tu da vama pružimo najbolje usluge. Naravno, tražimo uzajamnost, jedan solidan brak. Ako to tako mogu nazvati. Ja sam veseljak, znate.
Pa vidim ja da se mi već jako dobro razumijemo, nego kako napreduje natječaj?
Pošteno. Gledajte, natječaj je otvoren prije 3 tjedna, ja sam to sve pokrenuo čim ste mi se vi javili. Odnosno, ti javio. Drugih kandidata nema, ali zakonski rok moramo poštovati.
To je jasno. Gigo, mogu te tako zvati? Odradio si ogroman posao i to izvan satnice i svaka ti čast.
Vi se meni možete i ne morate odužiti za to. To je na vama.
Ispričavam se, imao sam hitnu situaciju.
Nema problema, evo gospodin Oleg, ja smo sve dogovorili. Ma pustite samo. Ovdje je sve kao iz prah historije, već su nam 100 puta obećali novi namještaj, ali kao što vidite, ništa.
Ne, ja sam se, baš sam se divio, ovo je dizajn, od uvijek sam htio imati ovakvu pepeljaru.
On to ozbiljno.
Da.
Evo, pepeljara nosi odmah.
Šalio se.
Neka, evo za početak, suradnje.
Ne dolazi u obzir, hvala vam, ali...
Direktore, poklon se ne odbija.
Tako je.
Hvala, Gigo.
Ne, hvala vam.
Hvala.
Fino si se uklopio.
Evo te, trebao sam za stolac reći.
Halo, momci.
Samo vi igrajte svoje.
Ma ne fermate 5%. Momak.
A?
Jeste našli ono što ste tražili? Pepeljaru jesu.
So in this extract of the series, we have I have to choose it because I really like it. It's funny, and I think there are things that I can identify with, like these people that say it's the same everywhere. But I think it has some things that are like the Reiki, that is not happening here, okay? That is a local thing. But there are this universal background that we can feel everywhere, I think. And my question is, is not a recite, but there is a tendency or a taste right now for this local context with as a way to I don't know, to think about things that happen to all of us that are universal topics.
It was interesting that things in the book happened like 20, 30 years before. Then we put it in nowadays. So it was immediately meant, that we must shift the local problems and local kind of perspective, to the nowadays, So for example, there were like more in book. There is more like kind of remembrance of the war, remembrance of the nothingness and stuff, and we put it more to the corruption, to the kind of people that are gone, people that fled out to the Europe or somewhere, or the States, and this kind of emptiness of the kind of post-transitional kind of emptiness of the city and of the area, with no life, with nothing. So we were more to this kind of approach that these two guys, when they're establishing the factory, they are not just establishing the work and the workers again, they're establishing the life. But at the end, they experience the life for the first time in their life. So it is kind of going in the circle. So yeah, it's kind of, we know what's the difference between, now I would say Hollywood, but you know what I mean? I mean commercially kind of project and stuff, when we are doing films or series in Spain, Croatia, for example, in A Coruna, in Zagreb, we are thinking, what's interesting in this small village next to A Coruna or next to what's interesting in this one? Maybe there's some crime, so let's do it from inside, from this kind of area, something. In Hollywood, when they're doing, they have crime, and let's put it somewhere interesting, opposite, they are searching for something, and it's immediately fake. We are kind of pulling energy from our roots, and this, I'm not talking about American independent film, which is great, but just think about this most commercial project, because you don't have this connection with life. Streaming services now and these days, are kind of bringing us the audience, which is not going to cinemas anymore. They don't want to watch Marvel films in cinemas. They don't have anything to watch. So they are waiting at home, for something which is more interesting, which is not that commercial. So I think there is plenty of job for everybody, just for people who are funding to understand that, the story doesn't have to be like commercial if you want to say something about our region or our countries. But on the other hand, the story who is telling about our local things can be commercial at the end. This happened to all my 3 TV series. They all been very commercial at the end. It was not idea at the beginning. No, you cannot imagine. I was not thinking that it will be that successful in commercial way, because what I did in direction kind of thing, I did so many experiments, so many crazy things. Because I was thinking, I must find my own kind of visual directing way, to have my kind of approach, which fits the story. I didn't want to copy paste. I didn't watch any Scandinavian TV series. I told you when I was doing the paper.
So, do you think that these video-on-demand platforms are an opportunity to make stories more rooted, more like not commercial in thinking in a commercial way, even if they are commercial at the end, as you said?
I think yes, because at one point now we have clash of the streamers via the platforms, and one is going, to the complete commercial direction. One is going to the art house. I think while they're clashing between each other, not copy-pasting each other, there is a chance for everybody. There is a chance for something which is kind of unique. I think I talk about unique kind of approach in filming, unique kind of story, and it really, I think, for normal audience, which is open to anything. It's not important anymore that film or TV series are coming just from the United States, or France or Germany. I think it could be Spain, Portugal, Croatia, whatever, just if it's good, you know.
Yeah, that brings us, I think, some hope, because we are talking here in this forum, but we are from Spain, but we have another language, Galician, and we are also producing stories in our language and with our culture. So we have looked to this, to your series, The Last Socialist Artifact, as an example of things that can be done with a small approach and very local. Do you feel that subtitling is also a good opportunity for languages as Croatian, as Galician, to tell stories that are ours but can be understood in all the world? Because here we are not so used to subtitling before the video-on-demand platforms. I don't know how it was in the Balkan region, if you are used to it or not.
We were lucky that we had subtitles from the beginning. Because I don't want to see a film from Galicia that is dubbed on Croatian. It doesn't have any sense, you know. You must hear the voice, you must hear everything. But there is an interesting thing about when you speak about Galicia and Spain, these differences. We had differences in our regional, for example, small differences in language, like between Croatia and Serbia and Slovenia. There are some differences. But for example, this series, The Last Socialist Artifact, was kind of giving me kind of strength and courage, you know, to completely overcome these differences. So I didn't, the region culturally kind of is working together, so I didn't have any need to explain why this character is speaking Serbian, why this character is speaking Slovenian, because we had a story that this town is combining workers from all over the region. Okay, it fits in the story. But it's changing, you know. You don't need the people are not regional conscious. I'm telling you, they are not closed anymore. Like before, they were like walls and stuff. Oh, we are talking Croatian, or we are talking Serbian. Now it's changing. So it's good for the actors because now they can work everywhere. So probably Galicia, Spain also, if you want to, that it can be, I think, more normal. And if you ask me, I always think as an audience, always, you know. If you give me a good film, I will not watch. I will not see where it should, you know. I don't care. It can be Galicia, it can be Finland, just if it's good, you know. From Kaurismäki to Vedaset Hakul, you know, to Bon Jovi, to everybody, to Coen Brothers, you know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter just if it's good, you know. But now with this strike that happened in the States, strike of script writers and people who work with film directors. Now, for example, it's a complete gap in production, a big gap by the streamers. So normally, you know, you can fit lots of films and TV series from Europe. You know, they are trying to do now that, you know. So I'm always optimistic. I think there will be more and more place because you cannot shoot that much, you know. Let's say commercial things. because you're losing any kind of, you know, attitude and base, you know, because people older than 16, I hope they won't watch Marvel anymore. It's getting lower and lower, you know, for the babies.
And do you think that is there a different reading of The Last Socialist Artifact in the Balkan region or in Croatia than the reading that we can have from Spain or from another country? Do you feel there are some things that are not understood outside this space?
I was thinking that there will be more things that are not that understood globally, but they're completely understood, you know. Being on all festivals, everybody understood everything. Probably people in the region have some connections because lots of people came to me, they have like this thing in families and stuff. As I told you, by Serious Mania and other festivals, everybody understood this story. I think it's more common that we thought when we start to, you know, work on project. You know, we're thinking that we are really kind of developing thing that is kind of Southeastern Europe, but not. I told you now, they told me from Mexico, they told me from all countries, you know, that the things are also changing, and but all about this topic, you know. So I think when you know the soul of the project, you know, then you are becoming universal. Now. For example, when I mentioned Bong Joon-ho, when he does Memories of a Murder film, he's universal at the beginning because he knows the soul of the problem. You know, he's not doing crime to do crime, you know, because I'm telling that because I had this experience. I didn't plan to do crime series which the stars, and I must, you know, completely dig inside about this evil and crime and stuff, you know, why I'm doing this TV series. And when you explain yourself, I think that everybody understands.
So the boundaries are sometimes in our head more than
other. Yes.
Yeah. So I want to open now for the public or for the audience if they want to ask some questions. Então, alguém tem alguma pergunta que queira fazer? No? ¿En serio? Sí. We have a question. One moment, they are going to take the microphone.
Yeah.
Sí, vou na facer en galego, podo, verdad? Sí, vale. Moitas grazas por asistir, malia a situación, Dalibor. Eu, bueno, fui moi feliz o tempo que me duraron os capítulos da túa serie. Paseino de maravilla, deume moita ansia, e dime de conta de que así, ao redor do 20, 21, 19, bueno, entre o 18 e o 20, 22, hai moitas producións que recuperan isto que comentabades, non? Un espírito de clase traballadora, a idea da solidariedade, nunha produción nada maniquea nin nun sentido nin outro, non? Os malos son vós, pero non son malos de todo, non? Entón, non sei, querería saber se tamén en Croacia ou hai este novo movimento de producións que recuperan un pouco historias de clase, non? Aquí en España, dende logo no cinema documental e no cinema e mesmo nas series tamén, sí que está sucedendo isto. E iso, moitas grazas.
I think this series was kind of well accepted in the region because we first talked about this subject. You know, it's a very known subject, but we first opened this kind of topic, and that's why people liked it, you know. But like, I think here in Europe, people are completely now under heavy, you know, conditions of working class and everything, you know. So I was doing, when I was doing this TV series, I wanted some parts, you know, to look like documentary. You know, and in some parts, they are really real workers. They are really real people who are doing that with us. You know, and at one point we were shooting, we really lost kind of this fiction kind of control because we let it to be documentaristic, you know, with actors inside. So it was kind of my wish, you know, to some parts to look as much as documentaristic kind of docu approach as we can do it, you know. So it is very common, you know, especially we had now transition from our currency to euro. We had it last year. It's complete disaster. You're thinking that Italy is disaster and we are much worse than Italy. So people are really in trouble now, working class. So I think maybe it was kind of satisfaction for the people that somebody is thinking about them. Even in TV series, you know, but I don't have much explanation, but I don't like when you do something and it's kind of escapism from the real world, you know. When I don't think cinema should be that much of the escapism. You know, we must confront the subjects not in a depressing way always. We should have comedies and everything, but just to talk about this subject that people are seeing on the street. If you're thinking just about our art as film art, visual art as fun. That's nothing. And you know in Spain how much great films we have about this subject. So I was wanting to do something that will kind of connect the generations they're like in some nostalgical kind of approach because they experience that, and new generations, you know, kind of new workers, maybe they will shift the conditions to better.
Okay.
And thank you.
Some more questions? They are shy, but yeah, we have another one.
Hola, moi boas. Bueno, moitísimas gracias por estar aquí, ainda que sea a distancia, porque sentimos que estás preto. Vale, hai unha cousa que creo que acontece bastante no cinema e na ficción en España, e creo que no resto do mundo tamén. Quería saber se vos tedes ese mesmo problema, que ten que ver con que cada vez a determinadas, xa que estamos falando de clase, a determinadas estratos sociais, cústalles acceder ao oficio, os diferentes oficios que se dan dentro do cinema. Cada vez a xente que ten menos recursos é moito máis difícil ser cineasta. O mesmo pasa con outros oficios moi especializados, como pode ser dirección de fotografía ou incluso interpretación. Semella que no mundo está acontecendo algo que só as persoas con determinado poder adquisitivo acaban estudando en escolas de prestixio ou tendo formacións de moito prestixio. Vos vivides tamén esta problemática e como ves ti de cara ao futuro que isto pode cambiar ou perpetuarse?
That was good question, very good question. When I was teaching for years, and I had very good connection with students because I was like encouraging them to shoot everything on iPhone, not to be elitistic about shooting, to shoot all the time, to have to work all the time, you know, not to be. As you said, that there's also in Croatia, you know, just the higher classes, yeah. But for me, it's this is the problem, you know. But on the other hand, you know Paul Thomas Anderson, P.T. Anderson, who made There Will Be Blood, Magnolia, probably one of the best American directors. He went to NYU, and after 3 months, he went out. He knows how to direct the films, you know. He doesn't need the school, you know. So maybe we also have these problems with education, that it's kind of a little bit high level, high society level, which is wrong, you know. I know what's the system, how to encourage all the people on the street, you know, that these our jobs, you know, must be more communicative for everybody, you know. I remember when I was entering the academy with 18. From the first, I entered inside, but 3 months before that, I didn't know where the building is. Exactly. So I was just in my film club and video store. I was just thinking about films. So that spirit I wanted to put to the younger, that it's not forbidden fruit, you know. It's not, because nowadays the technology now goes much more democratic, let's say. And if somebody has a story that he's brave to shoot, or she, you know, he can do it by in his home, you know, he can do it, you know, but not to wait this kind of elitistic approach that it must be so academic. I'm not, or to open these high schools much more, as you said, you know, also in Croatia, it's same problem. Maybe to open more, to kind of to have, let's say, to make them more welcome to the people who like the film.
Okay, some more questions here.
If you can hear me, you know.
No, I think there is no more questions. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I have one last question. Is that this was a co-production among 4 countries, as we have said. And I would like to say in which ways this conditioned the narrative, the story. Like some I understand that some agreements were on the actors and the actress, and others like the places where the story was shot. But I don't know if you can tell a little bit about this. About how this scheme of co-production among 4 countries conditionated the narrative and the adaptation of the novel.
We have luck because we have partners who believed in us. That's very important, and that's very important because they helped us, not control us. If you understand me. For example, we have some parts that were happening in Berlin and in Sweden, so we decided to everything shoot even Berlin, even Sweden in Finland, because we have great partner from that, So they helped us, with narrative. They didn't, have kind of obligations like sometimes it could be. That's my advice to everybody. That you need not partners just because of the money and funds and stuff. You need somebody that really understands your idea and goes along with you, to all the informations we got and the details we have from our production partners was to help the story. If they have some remarks, they really were very enthusiastic about that. Nothing, to be like under control, or they were not afraid of the story. No, they were not, kind of you must think about the audience stuff. No, they were really kind of brave. But it's kind of when you are like choosing your, colleagues who you're working with, like DOP, like producer, like everybody, like editor. You must choose people that fit you, must fit you, that believe in kind of. I always say everybody on the set are authors, Now I should say everybody in distribution and preparation are also authors, But the real authors are not putting stones, in front of you. They are like moving stones from your part, So we had very good kind of production team from Serbia, from Slovenia, and Finland, and they really just they were not scared because it was art house project. Everybody's scared when it's art house project, really to return the money and stuff. But in this case, they were like, let's do it because maybe it's once in a 15, 20 years chance, to adapt this kind of book. And it's also, and it's so much script writing work, so much directing work, to make it good as a book or to find a medium to be like on same level as the book. So it was really hard, process, and they understood that.
We have time, I think, for one last question. No, so we have to say goodbye. Thank you so much for being with us today. It was a pleasure.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
Last sentence. I didn't hear it.
I was saying thank you so much for being with us. I don't know if you're listening to me now. Yes?
No, now I hear. Yeah.
Okay. So we have to end this conversation now. But thank you so much for being with us, and we are really inspired by your example in this series.
Thank you. I'm sorry for not coming in person, but thank you for all the questions and audience. Yeah. The smartest thing I could say, just shoot.
Okay. So.
Thanks.